We talked about domain and range and amplitude a little bit in our previous example, but now let's solidify it down here. So, as we said, the period is pi, or 180 degrees, for a tan graph. So we've got pi, or 180 degrees. And the amplitude, well, there is no amplitude because I have no max or min. I'm not going up and coming back down, so I can't measure from my center to a max point. So the amplitude, there isn't one. And so that goes along with my range. I cover all real values because there's no max or min. I go to negative and positive infinity for the y values. Now my domain, I'm not covering all the x values because I have asymptotes. And we saw that our asymptotes were at 90 or 270, and so they're increasing, they're starting at 90 and increasing by the period. So we're excluding 90 and every increment of 180 after 90. So we're saying our domain is all reals excluding 90 degrees plus adding 180 degree multiples. So k is going to be an element of real numbers. So let me move this over here. We can say k, not real numbers, k is an integer, positive or negative, because my asymptotes go on both directions. So starting at 90 and then adding multiples of the period. So in radians, I would have all reals excluding pi over 2 plus multiples of pi. The other way I could think about this is that my asymptotes for radians are at pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2, negative pi over 2, negative 3 pi over 2. So I could also think of that as odd integers of pi divided by 2. So to get an odd number, I would say that I would have an even number plus 1 makes an odd number. So multiples of pi divided by 2. And again, for either of those, k is an integer. So this gives me my domain that I'm excluding all my asymptotes.